as Liam wandered along a winding path near Willow Creek. A strange noise suddenly caught his attention. It came from the bushes nearby, a bizarre mix of squeaking and chewing like nothing he'd ever heard in these woods before. He stopped in his tracks, his ears on high alert, trying to make sense of the unfamiliar sound. A wave of curiosity mixed with unease washed over him. Slowly and carefully, he reached out and parted the thick branches. What he saw tucked behind them made him gasp. It was a tiny, vulnerable creature, trembling all alone. At first glance, it looked somewhat like a puppy. But something wasn't right. Its skin was nearly bare, a pale pink, and its head seemed far too large for its fragile little body. Liam squinted, wondering if it might be one of those rare, hairless dog breeds he'd only ever heard about. The poor thing looked so weak, its whole body shaking with every breath. Liam's heart ached at the sight. It was obvious. This little creature had been struggling to survive on its own for quite some time. Its shallow breathing and constant shivering made it look like it was silently crying for help. Without a second thought, Liam took off his jacket and gently wrapped the small animal inside, making sure not to hurt it. In that moment, a powerful sense of responsibility surged through him, as if fate had placed this tiny life in his hands. He could feel its rapid heartbeat pulsing against his palms. The creature's skin was warm and slightly rough, and it gave off a strange scent, nothing like any pet Liam had ever smelled before. As he walked home, cradling the creature protectively, Liam studied it more closely. Its eyes were enormous, framed with thick lashes that made them look even more mysterious. Its snout was long, ending in a flat, tiny nose. Its paws were unusually large, and every now and then, its stubby little tail gave a twitch. Liam couldn't shake the thought. Why had he never seen a puppy like this before? Then, without warning, the creature let out a piercing wail. A sharp, desperate sound that made Liam's blood run cold. Fear gripped him. He picked up his pace, terrified that the little one might not survive long enough to be saved. When Liam finally reached home, his wife Chloe was standing at the door. Her eyes widened in disbelief when she saw what he was holding. "Where did you find that?" she asked, her voice a mix of shock and concern. Liam quickly explained how he'd stumbled upon the abandoned animal in the woods. Chloe's expression softened as she listened. Without hesitation, she agreed. They had to help it. She warmed up some milk and tried to feed it with a bottle. But no matter what they did, the tiny creature refused to eat. It turned its head away, letting out faint, pitiful sounds. Growing more anxious, they tried everything. Minced meat, mashed vegetables, even baby formula. But nothing worked. The creature grew weaker, its breathing more shallow. Its eyelids fluttered shut. Panicking, Chloe suggested they call a vet for advice. But Liam, now just as alarmed, insisted they go straight to the Northwood Veterinary Emergency Center in the nearby town of Northwood. It didn't matter how late it was. They couldn't waste another minute. The drive was tense. The little creature whimpered quietly, trembling in Chloe's arms as she tried to warm it with her body. Liam kept his eyes on the road, whispering silent prayers with every mile. At the clinic, a tired-looking older vet named Dr. Peterson greeted them. But the moment he saw the strange animal, he jumped into action. His expression shifted to one of intense focus as he guided them into the exam room. "Where did you find this?" he asked, his tone serious while examining the creature. Liam and Chloe were sent to wait outside. They clung to each other as they heard the sounds of clattering tools and urgent instructions from inside the room. Every minute felt like an hour. Finally, Dr. Peterson came out. His face was grim, but there was a trace of relief in his eyes. "I've managed to stabilize him for now," he said, wiping his forehead. "But I've never seen anything quite like this. We'll need to run more tests." That night, Liam and Chloe refused to leave. They took turns sitting by the creature's cage. They gave him a name, Pip, hoping it would bring him strength. To their immense relief, Pip was still alive by morning. In fact, he even tried to stand, wobbling on those oversized paws. After 2 days at the clinic, Dr. Peterson told them Pip could go home. He gave them a special food formula, apparently the only thing Pip would eat, and instructions for how to care for him. Liam and Chloe were overjoyed. Just 2 days later, Dr. Peterson called again, this time with unexpected news. His zoologist colleagues were fascinated by Pip and wanted to examine him. The vet asked if a small team could visit their home. Excited and curious, Liam and Chloe agreed. Soon, their house became a mini science hub. Zoologists came in with cameras, notebooks, and endless questions. Despite the chaos, the couple felt proud. They were part of something meaningful. One expert in particular, Professor Davis, took a deep interest in Pip. He called frequently with updates and hinted that Pip might belong to a species that had never been documented in the area. Liam and Chloe tried not to get their hopes up, but with each passing day, the possibility grew more real. Meanwhile, Pip thrived. He became more playful, making happy little sounds whenever Chloe fed him. Watching him grow stronger filled their hearts with joy. A week later, Professor Davis called again, this time with real answers. Pip's DNA results showed that he belonged to an incredibly rare species, one that had never been recorded in their region before. Then, one quiet evening, as Liam and Chloe were unwinding at home, the doorbell rang. 2 uniformed men stood on their porch. "Have you seen any unusual animals lately?" one of them asked. The couple exchanged a nervous glance. Before they could speak, a familiar squeak echoed from inside the house. The men's eyes lit up. There he is, our little runaway. As it turned out, Pip wasn't a puppy at all. He was a baby Babirusa, a rare wild pig species that had escaped from the Northwood Wildlife Sanctuary after a fence collapse. His mother had been heartbroken, refusing to eat since his disappearance. The staff kindly asked if they could bring Pip back to reunite him with his mother. Though it broke their hearts, Liam and Chloe knew it was the right thing to do. With tears in their eyes, they hugged Pip one last time. As a thank you, the sanctuary gave them lifetime passes and promised they could visit Pip whenever they wanted. Since then, Liam and Chloe made regular trips to the sanctuary. They loved watching Pip grow up, running joyfully with his Babirusa family. At home, a framed photo of Pip sat proudly on their mantel, a symbol of an unforgettable journey that changed their lives forever. And so, Liam and Chloe's story became one they loved to share. Thank you for being part of their incredible adventure. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Helping Hub. Share it with friends and family, and stay tuned. More amazing stories are just around the corner.